Hey guys, Andrew here, and this is going to be a review of the Moyu Huanying with Dayan hardware. I haven't actually finished putting the puzzle together, but I just wanted to show you real quick the difference between Moyu and Dayan hardware. As you can see, the washer is much smaller, the spring is shorter, and the screw is also shorter. The top of the screw is different, but that doesn't really make a difference for the turning of the puzzle. The smaller hardware is... there's going to be less blocking the spring from contacting the plastic with the Moyu washer, which is what the point of the washer is, to stop it from contacting the plastic directly. So a Dayan washer would be better at that. Unfortunately, the Dayan washer doesn't actually fit in the Moyu cube, so we're not going to be using that. Instead, this is the set that I'm using. So we're going to have the longer spring and the longer screw. That means it's going to have to be a little bit looser, or the maximum possible tension is much looser than it would be with the Moyu hardware, because the rivets for the screw are made for the Moyu hardware, which could go into the maximum length, whereas the Dayan hardware can't go in quite all the way. And because the screw is also larger, it's just going to be looser. But the longer spring will sort of make up for that, and that'll also give it a lot more give. So the only possible problem could be pops. But anyway, let's get on with the review of the puzzle itself. Alright, I have put together the cube with Dayan hardware, or at least as much of it as I could fit into here. That means not the washers. And let me tell you that it's not as good as it was before, because as I anticipated, popping was an issue. The feel is much better than it was, and the cutting is a lot better. Let me show you the cutting range. So, before I put in the Dayan hardware, it was about 45 degrees. Now, it's about 45 degrees, 46 degrees, 47 degrees, 48 degrees. I don't know, I'd go as far as maybe 55 degrees. Oh, not quite. I don't actually know if that's 55 degrees. I'm just making stuff up, but it can go like this far, which is crazy. Never seen that before in a 3x3. This line to this line. Oh, but wait, it can do it before. Wait, bam. Ah. Anything less than no. This cube disappoints me. So rather than give you a review of a cube that isn't as good as it was before, even though it has better cutting, that's what the springs did. But the screws made it pop too much, so I'm gonna go put Moyu screws in, and then get back to you with a cube that hopefully doesn't suck this much. The Moyu Huanying. Just how it comes with its own hardware, I'd say it, while it's definitely main-worthy, I don't think it's better than a Zanchi, personally. There are just slight locking problems, and if you get it loose enough so that the locking doesn't really happen, it pops. Now, the Moyu with the Dayan screws and springs, it definitely fixed all the locking problems, and it actually increased the cutting substantially. But there were some popping problems, and I had to keep it really tightly tensioned. Now with the Dayan springs and Moyu screws and washers, I'd say it's better than it has been. As you can see, it still has that same cutting range, like line to line right here. In reverse corner cutting, it's got quite a bit, almost an entire cubie. So yeah, this is by far the best cutting puzzle I've ever used. Speed, it's actually a little bit slow, for my taste. My 55mm Zanchi right here. The funny thing is, like, if I just hit it, it doesn't go as far. Or maybe it does, I don't know. But it feels faster, just. Everything, my Zanchi, just feels faster, more fluid. I think it's because the cutting on this, while it has exceptionally good cutting, the cutting is sort of slow. Like, the cube turning itself is super fast, but when you just cut that tiny amount, it really slows it down a lot. And that's not the case with puzzles like the Zanchi, where that you can just easily go right through. Whereas bigger cuts do slow it down a bit on the Zanchi. On this, it's pretty much the same for there, as in there, and there, all taking the same amount of force. But it ends up actually taking a lot of force. So, all in all, I'd say that this puzzle could be good for you. And I'd have to say it's about equal to a Zanchi. It all really depends on your preference. If you're going to get a Moyu Huanying, I definitely suggest you put Dayan springs in it. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and you'll see me on my next video.